All right, we're making a record in the matter of People versus Eric Austin. It's a competency hearing. The record wasn't on for a minute. Mr. Austin is here with his lawyer, Mr. Ross Truckee, who came in on a day off to deal with this matter. I mentioned earlier, Mr. Austin, that when we get the report back from the Forensic Center, we're supposed to have a hearing within 5 days. We got this report back on August 5th. Today's August 7th. That's pretty good turnaround time. As I stated before the record was on, you were charged with a home invasion, first degree at your parents' house on Carl's Road, and stalking for violation of personal protection order that prohibited contact with your mother. The matter was set for a preliminary examination and a pre-exam conference in early April and May. And in May, I referred this matter for a hearing regarding competency. You had several other cases that I recently talked to you about. File 221106 is domestic violence at your parents. 222049 is a domestic violence MDOP at your parents. 2382SM was a domestic violence second offense, I believe also your parents. So I had some discussion with you, and we all agree that a competency evaluation would be appropriate. So the case got put in timeout status. As I mentioned, we received the report. It's dated July 30th. We received it on August 5th. It's written by Deanne Yount, Deeann Yount, PhD, licensed psychologist and consulting forensics examiner at the Center for Forensic Psychiatry. Ms. Stoll, may we stipulate to the report for purposes of this hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Truckee?
I don't know for the correction in the first line, the age is, I believe, incorrect. Indicates he's 25, born in 1995. I think it's 1990. No?
It's 95.
It's 95. Okay, never mind.
All right. All right. The reports, and I've dealt with you before.
Yes.
Through these other cases. You've always been very polite and respectful to me. I think that under this quiet demeanor is a very intelligent guy with some mental health struggles. That doesn't mean you're not competent. One of the concerns I had is whether you were taking your medications and what was going on. At any rate, the forensic examiner has met with you by Zoom, reviewed some other documentation, and she made a finding, which I'll read into the record. In the opinion section at the end of page 4, Dr. Yount says, in this examiner's opinion, Mr. Austin's answers to questions during a structured interview, as well as his spontaneous speech, indicated he was able to discuss the legal system in an accurate and factual manner. As examples, he conveyed an understanding of the adversarial nature of the criminal justice system. He understood the roles and responsibilities of various courtroom personnel, including the judge, prosecuting attorney, and the defense attorney. And he demonstrated an understanding of the various pleas that could be entered. I think that's all true. I think you understand how the system works. That you're entitled to counsel, you're entitled to have a hearing, you're entitled to charges being proven. In summary, based on his behavior during the evaluation, including participating in an interview, discussing information related to the court process and court personnel, and answering questions about the days, weeks, and months leading up to and following his arrest, Mr. Austin appears to understand the nature and object of the proceedings against him and assist his attorney in a rational manner, if he so chooses. Therefore, it is the opinion of this examiner, Mr. Austin was competent to stand trial at the time of the evaluation, which is now. Mr. O'Berry, anything to add? Or Ms. Stoll?
No.
Mr. Truckee?
My meeting with Mr. Austin today is consistent with the report here.
Yes. Mr. Austin, there's two different things. One is competency. How are you doing right now? And right now it appears to me you're doing pretty well. Another one has to do with criminal responsibility, sometimes used to be known as insanity. And that was your state of mind at the time of the incident, which was in April. That's a separate issue. It's generally a circuit court issue. But we need to get this case back on track. It was set for a pre-exam conference and it all got put on hold with this. Mr. Truckee, in the normal course of events, I would set this for a pre-exam for the 19th of August. But I could set it, it's actually on for pre-exam for August 12th right now.
And that's how I've been treating it.
All right, we'll set it for pre-exam. That was a target date, hoping we'd get the report back from the forensic center. PEC for August 12th, 2025 at 8:30. Prelim if needed, August 19th, 25 at 1. I do find that the defendant is competent, and I'm going to sign an order to that effect. The defendant is competent to stand trial. The case shall continue to the next stage of the criminal process. Are you receiving medication right now?
Yes, sir.
I want you to continue to take your medication. I was talking with our new pivotal jail liaison yesterday, and we're doing a much better job of people getting their medications while they're in custody. Mr. Austin, I don't know where this case is headed. Whether it's the kind of thing that can be resolved with some sort of a plea, whether it'll be set for a trial. I do know that you have 102 days of jail credit as of right now. So while this competency evaluation was pending, everything was just on hold. Well, it's not. Now the clock is ticking again. We've got a proceeding called a pre-exam conference next Tuesday. If a preliminary examination is needed, we can do it on the 19th. And the case is back on track. Your bond was $6,000 cash or surety. This was a scary situation, so the bond remains the same. Do you have any visitors at the jail? Does anybody come out to visit you?
No, sir.
All right, it's a pretty sad state of affairs, but we'll see where we're going here. Mr. Truckee, thank you for coming in on a short notice on your day off for Mr. Austin. We'll get this case back on track. I'll see you next Tuesday at 8:30.
Thank you,
Ms.
Donna.
Stoll, thank you.
Talk again, probably Monday. Over there.
Just a minute. Hold on for a sec. You guys are good to go. Good afternoon, everyone. We have a couple of final pretrials. We had 3. One was a dismissal filed by the prosecutor's office, and that leaves 2. And I know one is resolved. I'm not clear on the other one yet. But, and then I was just handed some other stuff. Apparently I've got some other things I need to do. That's all right. That's why we're here. All right. This matter is multiple files in the matter of Tyrone Valentine. There are, as I said, multiple files. 24176 OM 24235 OM. These are all trespass. 24344 OM trespass. 24345 OM trespass. 24346 trespass. 24355 trespass. 24470 trespass. Yeah, no, there's one more. 241336 disorderly person, City of Three Rivers. These are all ordinance cases. Defendant is represented in these matters by attorney Luke Knopfinger. Timothy George and Timothy Reed are not available from the City of Three Rivers, but they have communicated with attorney Knopfinger. Mr. Valentine was also charged with a felony, a robbery charge, which that was the charge, and went to the forensics center for a psychiatric evaluation regarding his competency. He was in jail altogether, I think, 101 days. Does that sound right, Mr. Valentine?
No, it was more than that.
Yeah, Judge,
It was like 200 some days.
The court,
At one time, I had made a note of what it was.
Judge, in the register of actions, and I compared it with my notes, he was credited 230 days
230.
in 24,139.
All right. That was the unarmed robbery case.
Yes.
So the city, as my understanding, is willing to accept a plea to one count and dismiss all other counts. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
And that's what the email from Mr. George states. Mr. Valentine, even if I wanted to, I can't put you in jail anymore. You've done 230 days on a 90-day misdemeanor.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do if you enter this plea is I'm going to give you credit for time served and let you get back to it. You understand?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead to this charge?
No, sir.
The question is which one? There's so many of these. The disorderly person one was last July 21st. Let's take a look at that. I don't know, Luke, would you rather do a trespass or a disorderly person?
I'd rather do a trespass, Judge.
All right, well, let's pick one.
I just selected 24,335.
All right.
There are a handful of dates. Line share January, February, March last year.
And Mr. Valentine, it's hard to even keep these straight. Keep these individual cases apart.
Yeah, and when the police approached me at those gas stations, they brought me to the hospital while I was seek treatment.
Did you say 235, Luke?
355.
355, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, 335. Mr. Valentine and I have known each other for some time. He's probably been charged with trespassing over 100 times, primarily at the Shell stations. Defendant had what Pivotal called a baseline delusion that he owned them. And this was at the Shell gas station on North Main Street on June 26th. Do you recall, or do you believe you were there that day? You had been previously told not to go there.
Yeah, I was there.
All right. Now, you and I discussed this. I've seen you doing really well, and I've seen you doing not well. In fact, we discussed this. WMMT did a story about the clubhouse. They did a nice story about you and how the clubhouse was helping your circumstance and how well you were doing. Before we went on the record, you told me you got your job back at Applebee's. You're working full-time at Applebee's?
Yeah, full-time. I go to clubhouse every day, though.
And you're going to clubhouse, and you're taking your medications, and you're cooperating with the ACT team.
Yes, sir.
And you know you don't own the Shell stations.
Yes, I don't realize that.
All right, I can't ask for more. You were in jail for such a long time because it takes a while to get a competency evaluation. The Center for Forensic Psychiatry we've got several we've been waiting a long time for. And then once they find that you're not competent, they have to put you in the facility and find that you are competent. I believe you're competent right now.
Mhm.
You and I are having a rational conversation. You're doing well. You're on your medication. I talked to someone from Pivotal yesterday about some other things, and your name came up.
Mhm.
And she told me, our new jail liaison, that you were doing quite well. So I'm pleased to hear it. If you get off your medications, we're gonna be right back in the same boat.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna take it.
All right, 90 days jail, oops. Credit, 90 days, it's actually 230 some days. I'm gonna waive all fines and costs.
Thank you, Judge.
And there's no, I don't think I can even put you on probation. But if I did, the conditions of probation would be that you take all medication as prescribed, cooperate with Pivotal. And you're doing that, so I hope you continue. And it says something about you that Applebee's was willing to give you your job back.
Yeah.
You've been working in food service for many years.
Yeah, I told her I've been a cook for 17 years.
Yeah. So that's all good. All right. No fine,
Thank you.
no costs,
Thank you.
credit for time served.
Thank you.
How about if we have a good year? I'm gonna be here for a year and a half more.
All right.
And then they're gonna take me out and shoot me because I can't continue after that. I have to retire. So how about if you don't come back and see me in here? Maybe I'll see you at Applebee's.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, you're good to go, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
I don't think they'd take him out shooting. In the movie Midsummer, when they were 70, they went and jumped off a cliff. So I don't know, maybe don't want to do that.
Oh, is that how that one ends?
Did you ever see it?
No.
That's very creepy. Joshua, I received your nollie-pros in the matter of Rebecca Karen Bales. So they've already taken the file away. So all that's left for us is Ashley Jean Miller. I saw that Christine was just checking in with you. I guess we'll wait a minute for her.
All right, let's talk about that. Judge Middleton's docket today brought us to very different but equally telling cases that highlight how much courtroom work can turn on patience, mental health evaluations, and a judge's ability to keep things moving while treating people like people. First up was Eric Austin's competency hearing, where Middleton wasted no time noting the quick turnaround from the forensic center. The psychologist's report painted Austin as polite, respectful, and fully aware of how the legal process works, understanding the roles in the courtroom, the adversarial nature of the system, and the pleas available to him. Middleton clearly agreed, saying he'd dealt with Austin before and saw an intelligent man coping with mental health challenges, but nothing that made him legally incompetent. He reminded Austin to stay on his medication, pointed out his 1 days of jail credit, and kept the case on track for its next stage without drifting into unnecessary commentary. Then came the resolution of Tyrone Valentine's sprawling set of trespass and disorderly person cases. The man's history was, frankly, a clerical marathon multiple shell station incidents driven by a persistent delusion that he owned them. The unarmed robbery charge that sent him for a competency evaluation had kept him in jail for over 200 days, far exceeding the maximum for the misdemeanor he ultimately pled to. Middleton showed a mix of firmness and humor, reminding Valentine that staying on medication was key to avoiding a return trip to court, and even joked about hoping to see him at Applebee's, where Valentine had regained his job. What stood out in both hearings was Middleton's ability to treat mental health issues as a real, ongoing factor. He balanced accountability with practical compassion, recognizing when jail time no longer served a purpose, and when a nudge toward stability was the better route. The atmosphere never got tense, and even with serious issues on the table, Middleton kept the tone approachable, tossing in offbeat asides about movies and retirement that lightened the load for everyone present. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.